Cúnmil Falte. Welcome back everyone to the home of the last Jacobites. I am Ian and I am the last Jacobite. My voice is quite hoarse today, so please forgive me, and I haven't done one of these for a while, and I'm sorry for that as well. I noticed that some of my Catalonian friends have been sharing some of these old videos that I made, and thought, well, especially after yesterday, maybe it was time to do a new one. Yesterday was amazing. Yesterday was unbelievable, really. You've seen the pictures, you've seen the videos, none of that describes what it was like to be there. What am I talking about? I'm talking about obviously the March for Independence in Glasgow yesterday. Now Frank and I travelled up, and we knew we'd maybe meet some old friends and comrades, and we'd obviously put on the garb, the full plaid. As I explained to folk, I couldn't be more rebellious if I tried. We were flying the Jacobite White Rose and the Royal Standard. I was wearing a White Rose cockade in my hat, and I was wearing the plaid, all prescribed after Claude, still on the statute books. Anyway, the organisers of the march asked us to be at the front, so it's not something that we sought, but it was an honour. It was a complete honour to be asked, and you could see the folks gathering, and you just felt something in the air. You felt a sense of history. And we set off. 20,000 of us from Kelvingrove Park. And it was a carnival. It was an absolute carnival, a cornucopia of colours and flags, and it was spectacular. We were joined on the way by at least another 5,000, at least. Being up the front, I was right next to the stewards and the police, and the police were giving the stewards information. At one point, the police were saying 27,000. 27,000 people. In a country where apathy is the norm, where it's hard to get anyone off their asses to do anything. 27,000 people rallied and marched. I said to somebody at one point, I said, forget Glasgow Green, maybe we should hook a right and just take this thing down to Westminster. And I tell you, I was only half kidding. Maybe that's something that we'll do at some point if we need to. But it was just a fantastic day, and I think two things. One, the SNP had been invited, and they wanted nothing to do with it. Said it wasn't an SNP sanctioned event. Who knows why, but I do know anyone, whether it be the unionist politicians or whether it be the SNP, that are trying to say there's not an appetite for independence in Scotland. Well, there was 27,000 reasons yesterday that says Scotland wants independence. And here's the thing. We weren't chanting, what do we want, another referendum? What we were chanting was, what do we want? Independence. When do we want it? Now. Now. Now the whole SNP campaign has boiled down to vote SNP to stop the Tories. Well, I'm old enough to know that that's borrowed straight from failed Labour. Labour used to say in Scotland, vote Labour, we're the only ones who can stop the Tories. Well, year after year, election after election, Scotland voted Labour, we got Tory. Voted Labour, we got Tory. Voted Labour, we got Tory. Now, we vote SNP, we get Tory. We vote SNP, we get Tory. And for those who think that there's going to be this wonderful, miraculous coalition between the SNP and Corbyn's Labour, you've forgotten evil. Friends, it's as simple as that. Last year, Scotland's MPs were made second class. They cannot vote on English-only matters. And that makes any workable coalition absolutely impossible. Yes, on UK-wide matters, which are few and far between, just so you know, they could, I suppose, have a workable majority with Labour to oppose the Tories, maybe. But when it comes to anything pertaining to England now, well, they'll have to walk away, and then their majority's gone. So it's only half a government at best. And then they don't even get to decide about Scottish-only matters, because that's what the puppet parliament in Holyrood's for. I'm not sure what the purpose of Scottish MPs is anymore. Are you? Certainly, what they could have done, what they should have done, is they should have declared independence. Simple as that. If it was always known, Margaret Thatcher said it, Robin Cook in '83 almost did it when he was head of Scottish Labour. What I'm talking about is the policy of the SNP used to always be, before they were infiltrated and overtaken by New Labour, their policy was always, if they ever had a majority of Scottish MPs, that equalled a mandate for independence, and they would declare independence. How clear and straightforward is that? But, of course, they've thrown that away. And now we have ifs and maybes. We'll have a referendum. Well, we know from Quebec, and we know from our good friends in Catalonia, you can have referendum after referendum. Look at the Catalonia situation. How many referendums have you guys had where you've overwhelmingly said you want independence, and they've just turned around and said, well, it's non-binding. It's time for something new. So, I want you to spread this video, please. Not for any ego's sake, but for Scotland's sake. I need 100 Scottish patriots willing to commit, or to be deemed to commit, possibly, treason to the Hanoverian Crown. Now, I don't mean we're taking up arms, anything like that. Don't be silly. What I'm talking about is enacting the Declaration of Arbroath, which I believe, after a lot of research, 100 of us, under the power of that Declaration of Arbroath, have the right to recall Scotland's old form of Parliament, which was called the Three States. The Three States are the ones who sold us down the river by signing the Act of Union. But they were never abolished, they were only put into recess. And that means they can be recalled. And it's a very simple process, actually. Now, the thing is this: I gainsay anybody to show me in Scots law that we don't have the right to do this. So, next Saturday, the 10th of June, which is the day of the Jacobite White Rose, incidentally, I cordially invite you to come and join me and my co-hosts in the Scottish Resistance to come to Bannockburn to meet at the statue of King Robert the Bruce. And if 100 of us are there, then we can make history. And if there's not, well, we'll build upon it until we do. And we'll still have a good time. I'll be speaking, I'll be doing a little bit of singing probably. But we've got lots of good folk singers are going to come along and entertain as well. So it'll be a good day out. I hope to see you there. God bless you all. I know this, every day Scotland's freedom comes closer. Sor Alba Gubrath, my friends. Goodbye.